southern border when you're talking about a part of Mexico. If you say that argument,
if I illegally domiciled myself in Mexico City and I announced I was illegal, what would the Mexican government do?
Who's announcing they're illegal?
You just announced your mom is here illegally.
Yeah, because you asked.
No, you declared yourself. I'm a dreamer. I was born here. So I implied your mom was here illegally, right? Yeah. And you might not like to hear it, but your mom's a criminal. And every day she stayed here is no different than squatting. You're squatting in America. You don't get squatters' rights in this country. Just because you have a nice story and we feel sorry for you. Again, your mom contributes a lot, right? Then she can contribute back in Mexico. She can go build a beautiful business and get a job, or
Why
go
can't
to.
she do that here?
She already is, but the point is that she wasn't welcome here. She wasn't invited. She cut in line. She took the place of other legal immigrants from across the world that have to wait decades to come into here. She wanted it more, so she cut in line under this mass sympathy campaign, and we're supposed to feel sorry for her? Go back to Monterey.
What's up, YouTube? Hope you guys are feeling good. Today, guys, we're back again to a new video. Today, we're going to be checking out Best of Charlie Kirk. This is going to be amazing. This is I think a compilation of Charlie Kirk best debates I've had with college students, and I will check this video out for you guys. Let's get right to today's video, guys. According to Charlie, kick because I love kicking us. Let's get right to today's video.
Can two men have babies?
No.
Okay, that's what I thought.
You say it's a natural law that I don't have a choice on who I marry. It's natural law that I don't choose who I marry. That's not fair.
No, hold on a second. Why does your own choice matter more than what is true?
Nice question.
What is true?
Exactly. That's what we've been talking about the last 2 hours. What is true? What is good? What is beautiful? This is what you guys should be. This is what we should be thinking. Oh, does it come down to you? Come on. So let me ask you a question. So it comes down to you. Wait.
Let me hold it. Come on.
No, we hold it. So was Hitler right when it comes down to you?
No.
Why?
Because he just fundamentally disagrees with my beliefs about
your beliefs, but
Exactly.
Hitler's beliefs killed the Jews. Why was he wrong?
Oh, sorry. Can I just quickly say something about how we just went from talking about the government controlling marriage to Hitler for some reason?
No, but
I've
listened to your argument for 20 minutes. It makes no sense. Totally respectful. You've made no sense for 20 minutes. So I'm going to get to somebody else.
Listen to what you just said.
Yeah.
I mean, all I've been talking about is the government controlling marriage.
I've been super patient. I've been super patient. Makes no sense. So
I can say things don't make sense all day. I mean, it's really not that hard.
yeah, got it. Okay, so just question. So why was Hitler wrong?
Why was Hitler wrong? I mean, you can write a whole essay about that.
Well, tell me one sentence as to why Hitler was objectively wrong.
To me? I mean, to
No,
himself, he was right.
Of course he was. So there's something above you and above Hitler that we're comparing right to. What is that something?
Morality.
Where do we get that from?
How you come up, where you're from, your parents, your culture, I mean, the place you live. I mean, a lot of different
So
things.
are some moralities better or more right than wrong than other moralities?
I would say no, because it just comes down to you personally.
Okay, so the Taliban believes it's okay to rape 8-year-old boys called T-boys. Are they wrong?
To me, yes, they are wrong, but to themselves, they think it's right.
Is there?
Charlie's trying to get it.
Are they objectively wrong?
Okay, what is an objective? What is the objective?
Well, hold on. Objectively, looking
According
outside,
to what?
right and wrong.
That comes down to me. And to me, they're wrong. But to them, they're right.
Wow.
I mean, that is how it is.
So let me ask you. So the Nazi guards at concentration camps, they thought they were doing right. Were they doing right?
No.
In your opinion or objectively?
In my opinion, no.
But what if they were to say we were doing right?
Well, then we have an argument, me and them. And then we have a fight, and then we have a war, and then it is what it is. That's how it is.
When somebody goes and rapes a woman here on campus, are they wrong?
Yes.
Why?
Because that is something you should not do.
Oh, so they should not do. Hold on a
do
second.
it.
You just did a should statement.
Okay.
You didn't do a should statement with the Taliban with little boys. What does should mean?
I mean-
What are you comparing should to?
Myself?
Are you?
Yes.
So it's your morality that
Yes.
triumphs over any objective laws.
I mean, not technically. I mean, at the end of the day, I can do whatever I want. I mean, I'll end up in jail. I'll end up, wherever I end up. But, it's whatever world you live in.
Is that the way we should design society? Everyone does what's ever right in their own eyes?
I mean, no, because it would be kind of chaos at the end of the day.
I agree. So then what standard should we then derive morality from other than opinion?
I mean, there's a lot of standards across the world. I mean, wherever you go, there's different life standards. I mean, the life standards we have here versus South America, Asia,
I
Africa,
agree.
it's all completely different.
Are some better than others?
I'm not done. Are some better than others? I mean, it comes down to where you're from. I think, wait, let me finish. I think the standard we have here in America is one of the best ones.
But now
And
you're
I
using
do
different
think-
words.
No, let me
Should,
finish,
best, so some things are better than others.
That is it.
And then the question is, what is the ultimate good? You're climbing the ladder, you're getting closer.
It comes down to you.
Does it?
Yes, it does. What is the ultimate good? It's my world. You know, I live in my own world with my things. What I think is good is what I think is good.
You don't understand that's one of the most narcissistic
Yes,
things.
it is. I'm a narcissist. So what? So what?
What if everyone acted the way you just articulated? What would that world look
I
like?
have no idea. I don't even want to know.
Terrible.
I don't even want to know.
So you probably agree that's a terrible world to live
Yes, it would be. But thank God not everybody's like me. Yes. Thank God.
in. Okay,
Okay, yeah.
we have clarity. Thank you.
Yes, we do. You have anything else you want to talk about? There's a lot more.
I think I understand your worldview pretty well. All about me, no one be like me. You're
So what are you trying to get at, though? Is what I'm-
It's obvious, and I've been doing this the whole time. There is a transcendent, eternal, external morality.
So you're okay. So
that
you
exists.
Say, okay, so you say there is an objective good and an
Of
objective
course
bad.
there is, yes. And the denial of that is only something we entertain because of how insane modern culture has become.
How has it gone insane?
We say men give birth.
I don't say that.
The Biden administration does.
That's not me.
They say that chest feed, I know, because it's all about you. I got that,
Yeah,
okay?
trust me.
So we've been through that. Only about you, right?
Yeah,
Center of the
yeah,
universe.
100%,
It's Copernicus over
Yep.
here, right?
That's me.
So yes, we are now in a postmodern age where it says in the scriptures, man will do what is ever right in his own eyes.
So the scripture is right.
Of course it is. Yes,
Says
but
who?
okay, says God, but I
Okay,
could get
wait,
through
wait,
that.
Wait. What is a God?
Jehovah, Adonai, the oneness,
Okay,
ethical
okay.
monotheism that built the world you live in.
So an omnipotent being. is what you're trying to say.
Omnipotent, not omnipotent,
whatever.
but that's okay. So
Same thing, different way.
omnipotent, omniscient. I mean, I could get theological
okay.
if you want, but even lesser than that, C.S. Lewis developed it called the Tao. Okay, so even this is more agreeable. I'm a
okay.
Christian, but every almost any functioning culture has something called the way.
Gotcha.
Meaning that
Yes,
there is
that's
a
true.
better way of living than other ways.
Yeah,
And if you compare Confucianism, you compare Roman,
Yeah.
Greek,
There's always a way of life.
and it's very
Yeah.
similar, and they have some harmonies, and we must develop in the West what is the way. We have said to our kids, there is no way. Do whatever you want. Hate to say it, you articulated it beautifully. But
I mean, the way of life changes throughout time. I mean, to say there was one guaranteed best way to live, I mean, I feel like that's two-dimensional.
is it?
I'd say so. I mean, life is bigger than the two dimensions, black and white, good
I'm
and bad.
not saying it's good. There's hierarchies or nuances, but wouldn't it be worth spending some time wondering what is the best way to live?
I think about
Thank
that all
you.
the time too, and I've come to the conclusion that it's just up to you. Honestly, I mean, live your
guy's
life
a
how
big
you want
narcissist.
to.
That's not the point. The agency is not
Okay,
that, is
okay.
the ought to. So the Greeks had a word for this called telos,
Uh-huh.
where you get the word telescope from, far out in the distance, something that you should yearn towards or desire, the best way for humans to live. Now,
Sure.
I believe that's a Christian way. Some people might not agree with that.
Yeah.
But you cannot say that we should as a society acknowledge a way is necessary. The founders acknowledged it, where they said the laws of nature and nature is God. We hold these truths to be self-evident. So our whole civilization is built on an idea that there is a way, and we're now teaching our kids, no there isn't, do whatever you want. I'm saying that's really, really dangerous.
I have a question. Can this way change and evolve as time goes on?
It can adapt, but not necessarily for the better. And that's why Christianity is just as applicable today as it was 2,000 years ago.
Years ago.
And the founders did not write the Constitution for the times. It was written to stand the test of time, because as much as we try to convince ourselves, human beings don't really change. We're still self-interested, we still lie, we still cheat. That's why the Constitution has lasted. It's the longest lasting political document in history.
So what are you trying to say?
I'm saying that absent an eternal standard, something
You're saying
transcendent.
there is a objective
You
good
keep
that we
co-
should
you-
all strive for.
Yes, and we have to talk
Well,
about
okay,
what that
okay,
is.
Sure. What is it? Let me know.
That's the question.
Okay.
I believe in the ultimate, it's Christ.
Okay.
But in the American context, it's ethical monotheism. That there is an ethical one God that administers a way for your life and you build a civilization on it.
Okay, the thing is, talking about Christianity, I mean, you know Nietzsche, God is dead.
You mean Nietzsche?
Nietzsche, whatever, God is dead. I mean, Christianity is a dying religion every single year. The numbers go down. And a while it's going to be gone.
Okay, so I'm going to try to save you here, man. Nietzsche lamented the death of Christianity, just so you know.
I've read Nietzsche, however you want to say it.
It's Nietzsche.
Whatever, big difference. I mean,
Okay.
either which
Did
way
you
get my
read? Did
idea.
you read Beyond Good and
Steve's
Evil or
very-
Thus Spoke
I've
Zarathustra?
I've seen Ubers mention all that
What?
shit.
Yeah, which one? Thus Spoke Zarathustra? Or Beyond Good and Evil? Beyond Good and Evil is a book. Maybe that'll be a video game too. But
Okay,
no.
but-
But here's what Nietzsche
Can I
said
say
though.
my point? Can I say my point real quick? Just
Okay.
get it out. So according to Nietzsche, God,
Nietzsche.
whatever, it doesn't matter. You get the idea. God is dead according to him. Every single year, Christianity numbers fall, religion's dying.
That doesn't mean it's not true.
Okay, I know, but one day, Christianity's gonna be gone.
No.
Yes, it will be.
It'll be a remnant.
No, it will be a remnant. It will be a small little religion,
but
it
this
will
is
never
also-
have the control it has in the government.
Maybe.
today. Every single day, as
Christianity has ebbed and flowed before. It's gone from martyrdom into exile, into revival. Christianity looked like a dying religion in year 400 and year
That's
1100.
true, that's true.
So, but you might be right, because in our scriptures it does say that we'll be persecuted and that our numbers
100%.
will decrease in false prophets. So you might even be right. I'm not
So
going to deny
I'm trying to say is, why build a whole culture around something that is going to perhaps
Okay.
die one day?
Well, first of all, we already built it.
And it's falling. Christianity
Is it
falling.
is it falling because we're going towards Christianity or away
That's just the
Christianity?
natural way of things. I mean, the Greek religion fell, Rome fell. I mean, things come and go every day.
Wait, hold on. Do people still worship the Greek gods?
No, they do
Yeah,
not.
okay. Well, Christianity has staying power. And by the way, before you get too ahead of yourself, the gospel's spreading in Africa like never before. So Christianity is
I mean,
actually...
they said that years ago.
It's,
They say that
hold on,
every
it's
other year.
increasing worldwide. It's decreasing in America. But hold on to your point. What am I getting at? We could debate taxes and borders. None of this matters if we don't first acknowledge some form of something outside of ourselves needs to exist to have a good and free society. You don't have that. You're going to live in a really crummy, totalitarian
So
country.
you rely on a God to tell you what is good and bad.
Yeah, the God of the heavens and the earth.
Okay.
Yes, but even if you don't, I want.
I rely on the community around me to
Well,
tell me what is good and bad.
Yeah, I mean, but hold on. First it was you, now it's the community. You're all over the place. So.
Well, you are a part of the community. You are, you are the community.
Well, that's
you
not-
are an individual
Again,
member.
that's if you rely on the community, then in Nazi Germany you'd be running trains to the concentration camps, right?
Well, that's what people were doing.
And that was wrong.
It was.
Okay. The question is, what's going to prevent us from doing that again?
You could do the same thing with God.
Of course, you can pervert what is true. It does not make what is true wrong. What is true is eternal. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet. Thou shalt not have any gods
we
above
say all
me.
this, but I mean, the American government will go bomb a,
Fair
whatever.
enough. That means they're not living up to the standard. It doesn't make the standard not true.
I just think the standard is something impossible to reach.
Is it impossible, or is it necessary to set for us to strive as close as possible to?
I mean, honestly, yeah, it's a good idea.
Thank
I'd
you.
agree with that. I'd agree. It's a good to set a good.
It's a good telos, a good
I
thing
guess
to
so,
strive
but
for.
listen, but wait. But not everything Christianity says is perfect. That's the thing.
Well, look, I'm happy to defend Christianity, but what I will say, I'm saying even if you just acknowledge, anybody, that there is a better way to live, that is a win. That there is a way that humans ought to live and ways that we should probably avoid. That is at least a refutation of postmodernism, which is what is dominating the land today.
I guess, yeah.
That's where you started.
I mean, I just think it's just this whole good versus evil is just so arbitrary.
That's very Nietzschean, but it's not.
I respect that.
I'm going to say something radical, okay? A child put in an oven is not subjective. That is morally reprehensible no matter what culture, no matter where you come from. I don't care about your history. I don't care about your shared experience. That's evil.
I agree with you, but
Because you know why? Because all of a sudden something other than your reason is kicking in, which is your
No,
soul.
because-
Yes, it is. Because we know at a soul level, it's wrong to put kids in ovens. Okay?
But not everyone around the world would agree with that, unfortunately.
Well, they're evil. Thank you. That's an
And
evil
then,
thing.
okay, then we're back at good versus evil.
We-
What is that? Black versus white.
Okay, so we could, again, I would say the good is that which is perfected in being.
Okay,
All right?
that's your personal definition.
Well, no, it's Aristotle's, but that's okay.
Okay, gotcha.
So pretty important to
Gotcha.
creating the West,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
But if we build up from that, we
Okay.
understand the greatest thinkers of the West, Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle,
Yeah.
they started with what is good? And
Yeah.
they spent their whole life asking that question.
Yeah,
How often do college kids ask that question?
rarely.
That's a problem.
Most people rarely think that, though.
That's what I'm getting at, is that if you do not honor that there's something above you, something beautiful, something transcendent, even the possibility, the idea of it, I call it religious. You could call it,
Community, that's what I would call it.
but so philosophos, philosophy, the love of wisdom. Wisdom is the knowledge of things that don't change. We rarely teach kids things that don't change. We teach them things that do change. Knowledge is important. Wisdom is eternal. Wisdom is, what's the best way to live? Are human beings good or bad? What is justice? What should the punishment be for a stolen Snicker bar versus murder? These are the most important
Yeah.
questions, right? And we don't contemplate them nearly enough at universities.
The thing is with that is just like the way the world is today, where things are so changing so fast. It's just hard to root something into.
Hold on. Let's go. Are they changing fast or are they staying the same faster?
We'll go in more into that.
Are we better people because we can fly from Phoenix to New York and have Wi-Fi and Twitter?
Yeah.
Or are we more of the same just in an accelerated way?
I'd say it amplifies who we really are.
Bingo. So we don't change, it just speeds it up. So shouldn't we discover who we are? The nature of man, which is what Aristotle did in his Ethics. He did it better than almost anybody else. That there's an ascendance of virtues, right? The ultimate being courage. The goal of humanity being happiness. He had a word called eudaimonia.
Yeah, feelings don't change. We all feel the same.
Sort of. You're getting close. Yeah, but this is what I'm getting
But
at.
how
is-
you feel that changes.
No, that's how you feel.
You can feel happiness,
Yes.
looking at the sun,
What
watching
I-
the sunset.
what I'm
but
get-
nowadays, the way we can feel that has changed.
Sure.
The way we feel, the way we do
changes
things change.
slightly, yeah. But what
But
I'm
we are still fundamentally the same.
yes, and then we want to learn what that fundamentally the same thing is. Thank you, man. I want to get to other people.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate
Thank
that. I
you.
appreciate
You were very. You started rough, and then we got somewhere.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, Kirk. My question is sort of a question / compliment. You're a very good public speaker. And I think a lot of people here might struggle with that. What I'm curious is somebody with so little education beyond high school and,
Where is it getting
just
to?
experience in the field, how are you able to so confidently just kind of word vomit, right? You said pretty much every question you've answered has been no answer. You've just kind of said what conservatives want to hear. So really all of your work is not a debate. It's just confirmation bias. So
Wanna have a
learn how to, sorry?
You want to debate?
No, I'm good. I'm just curious where you learned
You sure?
how to public
I'm a high
speak.
school graduate. You're in college, man. Let's debate. I vomit for a living. You said. Yeah. Come on, let's debate.
No, I'm not here to debate. That's not,
No, you're
that's
just
not
here
my
to, you're
question.
just here to insult me.
Yeah, yeah, I am. Where did you learn how to public speak? Because you're really good at lying out of your ass.
What have I lied about? Name one thing I lied tonight about.
The
Name a
stats.
name a second thing. No, name a stat. I said that's wrong.
You said 11 million jobs. You said 50%.
Yes,
of
11 million jobs are open for blue-collar work according to Mike Rowe and according to 3 independent studies according to the Department of Labor. Name another stat. I said that's wrong.
I guess my main point
No,
is...
name a third stat that I
when
said that's wrong.
When you say a stat or you just say numbers, it's helpful usually when you're public speaking to say where you got that information. Because people who disagree with you might
Fat
not
like Charlie.
So
you're
give me,
credible.
no, but give some examples. Where did I lie or say a stat that's not true?
You need to work on not doing confirmation bias.
Wait, hold on. No, but you come up here and say, oh, how did you with a high school education learn to spew BS? Say one thing I said that was wrong, misleading, unfactual, not rooted in data. One thing.
You're doing it right now.
I'm asking you a question.
I was just making a comment, and you're spinning it. That's what you're really good at. That's why I think you're a good
No, you
public
came
speaker.
up here and insulted me. I'm asking you, how have I misled this audience? And you come unprepared, like not with a single data. I thought you'd at least have like one gotcha, man. Like one number, like one thing. 11 million job openings, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that require muscular labor and require just a 6-month technical training degree. That is true. At the apex, 15,000 people coming across the southern border every single day. I even said it's down a little bit. That is true. What have I said that's incorrect?
Wanna do next? You're good at what you do, but not for the right reasons. That's all I'm saying.
They don't want to debate me because they can't debate me. They can't say one thing I said that's wrong. They can't name one data point. They just come up here and insult. You, my friend, are why we are going to beat you guys historically, because you are afraid to have a debate. Just, it's so amazing, the smugness. How'd you learn to speak like this in word vomit? Oh, what'd I say that's true? Everything. Name one thing. Name another thing. Name another thing. Yeah, you should ask for money back at KU. They're really scamming you, man. You'd think you'd have one little thing. All right.
That was good.
I want your take on immigration. What do you feel about illegal immigration? Border hopping, border patrol. What do you take on that? Do you believe? I mean, obviously, I know like somewhat what
It shouldn't be a mystery, my beliefs,
obviously.
but yeah.
But I want to like hear it from you first.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in this country illegally, you should be deported.
Okay.
And we should
Straight
also
away.
restrict the amount of legal immigrants coming into this country as well.
Okay.
But the illegal problem is a much bigger problem right now. It's a full-out invasion. We have 15,000 people a day marching into our country. We don't know who they are. Terrorist watch lists. They're killing people every day. Laken Riley, another 16-year-old in Texas, was just murdered over the weekend by an illegal.
So you believe that everyone, no matter what you've done, deserves to get deported, even if they're illegal? What if they just do
Well-
nothing and contribute to society?
Well,
You can
the-
contribute to society.
Well, they didn't do. Hold on. They
Legal-
didn't do nothing. They broke into our home.
Okay, but like,
So
what
if you break into somebody's home, you should be able to get kicked out of the home. So they know what they did. They trespassed. They domiciled themselves illegally. If that continues, go back to your country of origin and go be a dreamer in Nicaragua.
But a lot of times it's because of U.S.'s imperialistic past is what caused many of these nations to. Oh, can you hear me?
U.S. imperialism in the past.
Yeah, a lot of these countries have been devastated by what
Okay,
is it?
so there's over 120 different countries
Okay.
that are coming across the border. Uzbekistan, you know, over 155,000 people from China have come across the border this year.
Okay.
From China. That's not like U.S. imperialism in Honduras.
That's
So
massive.
they should be kicked out and deported. And it doesn't matter. U.S. imperial. I'm going to roll my eyes at the whole thing. You still broke the law. You came into our country illegally. We have laws and customs. You came here. You knew you were breaking the law, and you should be sent back to your country of origin. Any
Okay.
decent country would do that.
So you're taking a subset of Chinese citizens or Chinese people from China and saying grouping them with everyone else, and because
Well, no,
we
I
didn't do
think
anything to China in the
Hondurans,
past-
Mexicans, Nicaraguans, El Salvadorians, Panamanians, Venezuelans, Chileans, they should all go home
Oh, really?
if they're here illegally. Yes.
But like I said before, these people have been devastated by in the past. These countries are poor.
I
These
don't
countries have
care.
Okay.
Like go,
It's as simple as that.
go
I don't
fix
care.
your own country. How do we screw up El Salvador? No, tell me. How did we screw up El Salvador? Can anyone tell me? Or is that just a talking point?
What about for the kids?
Go
If you're
back to
born
your
here-
country of origin.
So you would tell me to go back to my country
Well,
right now?
are you born here or not?
I'm born here.
Well,
My
I think we
parents
should
not.
get
They
rid of
were
birthright
illegal.
citizenship, but technically we have it, so you
Me.
should stay. But yes.
But I'm contributing to society. I'm working.
Okay, good for you. I mean,
So then
again,
I
I
should
would.
just leave?
I think we should get rid of birthright citizenship.
Oh, so
but,
I'm done.
But
I'm done for
again,
it.
I'm
Get me
not
out
like
Mexico.
I'm not like king, so we don't get rid. But birthright citizenship is a misreading of the birthright clause in the U.S. Constitution. But we have it, so you should. You're going to stay. Don't worry. Okay.
Or you want me gone?
But are
you want me gone?
Well, no, I don't want you. I want
You
the
just said
law
it,
to
like
be
a couple minutes
enforced.
ago.
Again, I think you're a nice person, but I don't
too.
allow my feelings to all of a sudden come in to the
You're really
administration
being
of
very emotional
justice.
in the moment.
I'm sorry, what?
Thank
You're
you,
literally
Charlie.
talking about how, oh, we didn't do anything. Get out of here. It's literally what you just said. I'm dumbing it down, obviously.
Well, okay, but did your parents come here illegally?
Yeah.
Okay, they're criminals, and they should
Okay.
go back to the country of origin.
But they contribute to society.
I don't.
They
pick
pick
up
up.
I'm
and
sure a
work
lot of
every day.
criminals. Okay, they might
They
rob a
work,
store and pay
they
their
work, they pick-
taxes.
They get your food.
Okay, but
They fast food.
let me ask you a
They drive
question.
your kids to school.
When they came,
that not contributing?
what's their country of origin?
My mom's from Mexico. My dad's from Syria.
From Syria.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh,
Got it.
don't talk about that.
Did he come here illegally too?
Not him, just my mom.
Okay,
I
got
only
it.
live with my mom, so.
So that's fair. So when she came here, did she know she was breaking the law?
She was like, I think, 17. So yeah.
Did she know?
She probably know.
Okay. Therefore, you should go back to your country of origin. If you knew that you were invading somebody's home, I don't have sympathy for you. You're an invader. You broke into our country.
But same
I don't
thing can be
care if
said
you're
for
contributing.
anyone.
I don't care if you're this wonderful dreamer in this great story. Either you have the law or you don't. And if your position is to repeal that law, then make that case. If you think it should be illegal to be able to waltz into somebody's country, then fine. There should be no exceptions to the administration of border law.
True.
You know who agrees? Mexico. If I go into Mexico without papers, they'll deport me back to America. Try to land in Cabo without your passport.
They'll let you in. I've been
No,
to
they
Mexico plenty of
won't.
times.
No, they won't.
Really? I just
As
walked
in-
Never.
through.
No, I landed in Cabo 6 months ago with somebody without a passport. They didn't let him into the country. There are stricter borders to go into Mexico.
That is
than
a
to-
lie. I don't know what border you've been through, but to go into Mexico is literally you just walk in. You drive in.
You drive to
it's
Cabo.
literally fast. You know
do you know where
back
do you
to
know where
America?
Cabo is? On the southern tip of the Yucatan Peninsula. How do you drive?
You're talking about all of Mexico. You can't make the argument and talk about the southern border when you're talking about a part of Mexico. If you say that argument,
If
you're
I
talking about the whole
illegally
thing.
domiciled myself in Mexico City and I announced I was illegal, what would the Mexican government do?
Who's
Deports
announcing
you
they're
back
illegal?
to your hometown.
You just announced your mom is here illegally.
Yeah, because you asked.
No, you declared yourself. I'm a dreamer. I was born here. So I implied your mom was here
Okay.
illegally, right? And you might not like to hear it, but your mom's a criminal. And
Okay.
every day she stayed here is no different than squatting. You're squatting in America. You don't get squatters' rights in this country. Just
Okay.
because you have a nice story and we feel sorry for you. Again, your mom contributes a lot, right? Then she can contribute back in Mexico. She can go build a beautiful business and get a job. Or,
Why
go
can't
to...
she do that here?
She already is, but the point is that she wasn't welcome here. She wasn't invited. She cut in line. She took the place of other legal immigrants from across the world that have to wait decades to come into here. She wanted
Yeah.
it more, so she cut in line under this mass sympathy campaign, and we're supposed to feel sorry for her? Go back to Monterey.
Okay.
So, do you think we should get rid of the law that says you can't come into a country illegally? Should we just get rid of that law?
My honest opinion,
Yeah.
I would say no.
No, we shouldn't get rid of it.
No.
Okay, I agree. So then when should we enforce it?
What?
When should we enforce it?
I don't know.
Okay, and the reason, and I respect the intellectual honesty, because if you said we should enforce it all the time, then it would apply to your
Yeah.
mom.
To you.
But look, you're a winner of all this. You get to be in the greatest country in the history of the world, right?
I respect it. I love being American.
Yes, and so, great, okay? And we have birthright citizenship. You have a U.S. passport, I assume, right? You cannot have a sustainable country if you do not have control of who comes into your country with no sort of standards, no sort of process. It's a big mystery. Secondly, on top of that, we have it on the books. You shall not trespass across the U.S. southern border. It is literally a felony. They want to make it a misdemeanor. So if we repeal that law, that's a position of some people. No border policy whatsoever.
Okay.
True.
No. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you for your time.
God bless. Next question. Thank you.
The first Nazi student was delusional. He's a crazy guy. And he was not ashamed of saying he's a narcissist. It's crazy how this generation is. It's terrible. It's really, really terrible. I'm ashamed that I have people like this in this generation, because this should have been an impressive generation, guys. Because our first Nazi student who feels more of himself, who feels that he's the best, or any other person's statement is actually wrong, but his own statement is right, is crazy. Because he's someone who don't want to listen, but want to interrupt, which is very, very bad way to communicate to other people. The entire conversation with Charlie was actually disrespectful, because he actually disrespected Charlie several times during the conversation, which I feel like it's terrible. And I assumed he's an atheist, because for me, he acted like someone who did not believe in God or any religion at all. But his side of truth is terrible. It's terrible to listen to. Then the second student who came there to say Charlie vomit weights for a living, it's crazy. That guy actually insulted Charlie And he have nothing to back up his facts. That is the crazy thing. He said Charlie come there with bias, lies, and Charlie lies a lot. So defend yourself with something. Come prepared and say, Charlie, this your statement was wrong. I actually went to fact check it and it was wrong. The guy came there with no facts at all. No evidence that Charlie said anything wrong. No evidence that Charlie vomits words that are not true, according to his own statement. Because the entire conversation right there, the guy just made a fool of himself, which I detest. I detest someone who feels like the next person is absolutely wrong and you came there without any facts or backing of your statements. So what are you trying to do? Trying to make a fool of yourself. I love how Charlie handled him in a very, I would say, respectful manner, because some other people might be more hostile than that. Because the students actually came there, insulted Charlie dignity, insulted Charlie in a very massive way in front of audience, like massive audience. That was very disrespectful. He didn't point out what Charlie did wrong. He was just calling him different names. Then the third guy right here who made the statement of they should not deport illegal immigrants. Like, even if you come into America wrongly and you have a job, you are contributing to America, you are still going to go back to your father's land where you are originally from. You have to go back to Mexico or El Salvador. You can't cut in line to come to America. I feel like you can contribute much better. You can work your ass off. I support people who come illegally and work their ass off to become something great. Truly, I support that. 100%. I will vote you. I will carry a billboard for you. But breaking the rule to come to America because you feel like you are right, that is terrible, because there are hundreds of thousands of people who are waiting in line. Guys, I've seen people who have waited for nearly 10 years before they're able to get an entrance into America. So you, because you're closer to America, because you're sharing a border in Mexico and America, you're sharing a border together, you feel like you can maneuver your way into it and cut in line. It's terrible, because anybody, imagine we are at a fast food right now, like they're attending to other people, or an interview, for instance now, and I forced you to come for the interview and you just cut your line and go meet the person. It's terrible. It's a very, very terrible thing to do, because I feel like I'll be waiting here for a long time for the next person, for the other person who was in to be done, and you just cut in line and enter. It's bad. You understand? So the best thing to do is to follow the due process. Entry into another country is illegal. Any country will be hostile towards that. Any country will deport an illegal immigrant at a snap of a finger. It starts fast. You understand? So America really do condone a lot of bullshit that other countries will criticize. America setting rules in place is the right thing, because a lot of people are really breaking this law, and which is not fair. Because if America is as bullshit as a country you are running away from, you wouldn't want to go to America. I've said this several times in my videos, and it's true. So stay in your country and fix your country. If you are working hard, work hard in your country and find a way to make a decent source of living. The guy became a citizen through birthright. For me, birthright should be cut off, because a lot of people are taking privilege in that. Coming to another man's country to bear children, I feel like they'll have a citizenship there. The children will have citizenship there. It is bad. You have to follow due process to become a citizen. You understand? For me, that is the right way. That is the proper way to do things. You don't just cut in line. I love how Charlie handled the students, because personally speaking, if anyone cuts in line to, if you like being the best worker of the year, if you like be the best person who is imparting more in America, I don't give a shit. As long as you do not follow due process, you are wrong. So comment down below what you think about this video. Give us a thumbs up. This is the best of Charlie Kirk. I loved the entire video. I really do appreciate Charlie handling the students with much big respect. I appreciate the entire video, and I want to say this: in America, a lot of people are living Christianity, which is, for me, we need to draw closer to God, because the more we are going far away from God, the more things start going sideways. You understand? So we have to draw closer to God to become more spiritual and more unite with Christ. Comment down below what you think about this video. Give us a thumbs up, share this video as many as can, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you guys in our next video. Make sure you stay safe.